In the Pokémon video games, there's a rare phenomenon. Roughly 1 in every 4,096 encounters, a Pokémon appears in an alternate color scheme. Shiny pink Butterfrees, golden Magikarps, crimson Gyarados. Collectors call them shinies, and the players who hunt them obsessively, checking every encounter, resetting saves thousands of times, dedicating hundreds of hours to finding these rare variants. They're called ShinyHunters. In 2019, someone borrowed that name. By 2024, ShinyHunters had stolen data on over 700 million people. They'd breached AT&T, Ticketmaster, Santander, Google, Qantas. They'd extracted 50 billion call records, social security numbers, credit cards, and government call logs. And unlike the state-sponsored hackers dominating headlines, the Russians, the North Koreans, the Chinese, ShinyHunters were teenagers from Canada, America, and some from the United Kingdom. They spoke English, they lived in suburban neighborhoods, they used Discord and Telegram like any other kids their age, and they treated billion-dollar companies like Pokémon to be caught and collected. The name ShinyHunters first appears in May 2020. Within 2 weeks, they're offering 200 million stolen user records for sale on dark web marketplaces. Over the next 4 years, they build a reputation: data theft, extortion, pay or leak. By mid-2024, they're executing one of the largest credential-based attacks in history. 165 companies breached, 700 million victims, 50 billion call records, $2.5 million in ransoms collected. Then, in October 2024, the hunt ends. Connor Riley Moucka, 25 years old, arrested in Kitchener, Ontario. John Aaron Binns, 24 years old, detained in Turkey. Cameron Wagenius, 20 years old, a U.S. Army soldier, arrested near Fort Cavazos, Texas. This is the story of 3 teenagers who played cybercrime like a game, who named themselves after Pokémon collectors, who stole call logs from the President of the United States, and who discovered that real life has consequences that video games don't. This is ShinyHunters. This story is based on documented events, official court records, and verified investigative reporting. All sources are linked in the description below. January 2020. A hacker going by the alias ShinyHunters accesses the back end of Mathway, a popular math tutoring app used by students around the world. 25 million user records, email addresses, hashed passwords. The hacker dumps the database, removes their access to avoid detection, and disappears. 4 months later, May 2020, the data appears for sale on a dark web marketplace. $4,000, Bitcoin or Monero accepted. But Mathway isn't the only catch. May 2nd, 2020, Tokopedia, Indonesia's largest e-commerce platform. 91 million user accounts compromised. Gender, location, username, full name, email address, phone number, hashed passwords. Another hacker, using the alias WhySoDank, claims credit on a hacking forum. Within hours, ShinyHunters lists the entire database for sale on Empire Market, a dark web marketplace. Price? $5,000. WhySoDank and ShinyHunters operate in tandem, close associates, possibly the same person using different names. In the underground hacking community, these personas blur together deliberately. The data is verified. Cybersecurity researchers confirm the breach. Indonesian authorities investigate. Tokopedia admits an attempted data theft occurred, but claims critical data remains encrypted. The stolen Tokopedia database begins circulating on Telegram channels dedicated to data brokers, free samples distributed to prove authenticity. Then the full dump leaks. 91 million records, now available to anyone willing to pay. ShinyHunters doesn't stop. May 2020 becomes a conveyor belt of destruction. Microsoft. The group claims to have stolen over 500 gigabytes of source code from Microsoft's private GitHub repositories. They publish 1 gigabyte as proof. Initial skepticism from security experts turns to confirmation. It's legitimate. Microsoft acknowledges the breach. Then the floodgates open. Unacademy, 22 million users. Zeusk, 30 million. Home Chef, 8 million. Chatbooks, Mindful, Minted, one after another. Within 2 weeks, ShinyHunters has offered over 200 million stolen user records for sale across a dozen companies. The pattern is clear. The methodology is systematic. The data is real. The breaches are confirmed. ShinyHunters has announced its arrival. Between 2021 and 2023, ShinyHunters fades from headlines. Occasional breaches, bonobos, an upscale menswear brand, 7 million customers exposed. AT&T data appears for sale, 70 million subscribers. The company denies it's real. Indian retailers hit, ransom demands rejected, data dumped publicly. But the activity slows. Security researchers speculate. Arrests? Internal disputes? Retirement? They're wrong. ShinyHunters isn't gone. They're evolving. April 14th, 2024. Somewhere in North America, a hacker with the alias Waifu begins what will become one of the most devastating credential-based attacks in history. The target isn't a single company. It's an infrastructure provider, Snowflake Incorporated, a cloud-based data and analytics platform used by 9,437 customers, Fortune 500 companies, financial institutions, telecommunications giants, retailers, airlines, healthcare providers. Snowflake doesn't store just any data. It stores the data these companies consider most valuable: customer databases, call records, transaction histories, financial information. Everything consolidated, analyzed, and managed through Snowflake's cloud platform. Waifu isn't attacking Snowflake directly. He's attacking its customers. The methodology is simple, elegant, devastating. Info stealer malware, malicious software that silently harvests login credentials from infected computers. For years, this malware has been spreading through pirated software, phishing emails, malicious downloads. Every credential stolen, every password logged, every session token captured, all compiled into stealer logs, databases of compromised credentials sold on underground forums. Some of these credentials date back to 2020, 4 years old, never changed, never rotated, still active. Waifu acquires these stealer logs. He searches for Snowflake credentials. He finds them. Hundreds of accounts, major corporations, many without multi-factor authentication. He logs in, not through sophisticated hacking, not through exploiting vulnerabilities. He simply uses the stolen usernames and passwords, like walking through an unlocked door. Once inside a company's Snowflake instance, he deploys a custom reconnaissance tool. Security investigators will later track this software in their reports. It maps the database, identifies valuable data, begins extraction. Then the theft begins. Terabytes of data flowing out of corporate databases, customer records, call logs, financial transactions, employee information, proprietary business data, all copied, all extracted, all stolen. Between April 14th and April 25th, 2024, Waifu and his associates breach at least 165 Snowflake customer accounts. The scale is unprecedented. The victims include some of the largest companies in the world. Ticketmaster, May 2024. 560 million customer records stolen. Full names, addresses, phone numbers, email addresses, ticket purchase histories, partial payment details, including the last 4 digits of credit card numbers and expiration dates. ShinyHunters lists the data for sale on a private marketplace for stolen data. Price, $500,000. The breach is massive. Concert tickets, sporting events, theater shows, every purchase, every customer, every transaction from one of the world's largest ticket sellers. Exposed. ShinyHunters continues to attempt to extort Ticketmaster. They offer to sell ticket information for Taylor Swift concerts. They leak tens of thousands of printed home tickets for upcoming events. AT&T, April 2024. 110 million customers, nearly every AT&T mobile customer in the United States. Call and text metadata from May 1st through October 31st, 2022, plus records from January 2nd, 2023. The data doesn't include the content of calls or texts. It includes something arguably more revealing: phone numbers of both parties in every communication, interaction counts, call durations, cell site identification numbers, location data showing where calls were made and received. 50 billion records, call logs, text messages, 6 months of communication metadata for 110 million Americans. On April 19, 2024, a threat actor contacts AT&T. They claim to have accessed and copied the company's call logs through a Snowflake workspace. AT&T activates its cyber incident response process, retains cybersecurity experts, begins investigating. The hackers are ShinyHunters. The data is real. AT&T faces a choice: pay the ransom or risk the data being leaked. The call logs include government officials, law enforcement, intelligence community members, military personnel, federal investigators, anyone with an AT&T phone number during that 6-month period. The U.S. Department of Justice intervenes. National security concerns, public safety implications. The DOJ requests AT&T delay public disclosure. AT&T complies. In May 2024, AT&T makes contact with the hackers through a security researcher acting as an intermediary. The researcher is known as Reddington. Negotiations occur. A price is agreed. $370,000, approximately 5.7 Bitcoin at the time. The ransom for 110 million people's call records. A billion-dollar telecommunications giant pays less than the median price of a house in many American cities to protect its customers' metadata. The payment is made. The hackers provide video evidence, a screen recording showing the data files being deleted. AT&T watches the video. The transaction completes. The data doesn't disappear. Santander Bank, May 30th, 2024. 30 million customers in Spain, Chile, and Uruguay. All Santander staff data exposed. 2.8 million records relating to individual customers and corporate partners. ShinyHunters breaches Santander through the same Snowflake campaign. Advance Auto Parts, 3 terabytes of data, offered for sale for $1.5 million. Lending Tree, 190 million records, $2 million asking price. Truist Bank, information belonging to 65,000 employees, $1 million on the dark web. Neiman Marcus, Pure Storage, Los Angeles Unified School District, Quote Wizard. 165 Snowflake customers compromised. Over 80% had prior Prudential exposure. Their passwords had been previously stolen through InfoStealer malware and were sitting in databases of compromised credentials, available to anyone who knew where to look. None had multi-factor authentication enabled on their Snowflake accounts. The investigation reveals the scope. Security investigators track the threat actor as UNC5537. The findings are clear. There is no vulnerability in the Snowflake platform. The company's systems weren't breached. This was a failure of customer security practices. Stolen credentials, reused passwords dating back to 2020, no MFA, no network allow listing, no behavioral monitoring for anomalous access. The doors were unlocked. ShinyHunters simply walked through them. June 4th, 2024. Google Threat Intelligence Group issues a public warning. The threat actor they're tracking as UNC6040, now known to be ShinyHunters, is actively extorting victims over stolen Salesforce data. The group is preparing to launch a data leak site to publicly shame companies into paying ransoms. July 12th, 2024. AT&T can no longer delay. The company files a disclosure with the Securities and Exchange Commission. The call metadata breach is made public. 110 million customers notified. 3 months after the breach was discovered. 3 months after the DOJ requested delayed disclosure. The ransom payment becomes public knowledge. News outlets report AT&T paid $370,000 to delete the stolen data. But copies may exist. Other threat actors may have obtained the database. There's no guarantee the data is truly gone. AT&T's stock drops 0.3%, $130 million in market cap erased. Senators Richard Blumenthal and Josh Hawley demand answers. They write to AT&T CEO John Stankey and Snowflake CEO Sridhar Ramaswamy. Congressional scrutiny begins. Class action lawsuits are filed against AT&T. Allegations of negligence, failure to implement industry standard security measures, lack of transparency about the extent of security lapses. ShinyHunters has stolen data from over 700 million people. They've extorted millions of dollars. They've exposed government call logs, corporate secrets, customer databases. And they're not done. Why ShinyHunters? In Pokémon games, shiny hunting requires specific qualities. Patience. Shiny Pokémon appear 1 in 4,096 encounters. Hunters must check thousands of Pokémon, resetting their games repeatedly, dedicating hundreds of hours to find a single rare variant. Systematic methodology. ShinyHunters develop strategies, chain phishing, Masuda method, SOS battles, techniques to slightly improve odds, optimized approaches, efficient processes. Obsessive collection. Each shiny caught is a trophy, displayed, shared with the community, status symbol among collectors. Trophy mentality. The rarity creates value. The difficulty creates prestige. Catching a shiny Pokémon proves dedication, skill, persistence. ShinyHunters applied the same psychology to data breaches. Hunt for rare, valuable datasets. Tokopedia, 91 million users. AT&T, 110 million customers. Ticketmaster, 560 million records. The bigger the target, the more valuable the trophy. Collect systematically. Stage 1, Stage 2, Snowflake campaign, Salesforce operation. Methodical, organized, scalable. Show off the catches. Post breach announcements on hacking forums. List data for sale on dark web marketplaces. Issue public extortion messages. The point isn't just theft, it's recognition. Build reputation in the community. Pay or leak becomes the ShinyHunters brand. Other hackers respect the scale, admire the audacity, fear the consequences of becoming a target. But ShinyHunters is never one person. The name is a brand. Multiple actors operate under it, sometimes simultaneously, sometimes taking turns, sometimes splitting operations across different targets or methodologies. The brand persists even as individual members are identified, arrested, and replaced.
ShinyHunters doesn't exist in isolation. The group emerges from the COM, a loose network of English-speaking Western hackers, young people from North America and the UK operating across Telegram and Discord. The COM spawns multiple brands: ShinyHunters, focused on data theft and extortion; Scattered Spider, specialists in ransomware, famous for the September 2023 MGM Resorts attack that locked slot machines and crashed hotel systems; Lapsus, Brazilian and British teenagers who breached Microsoft, Nvidia, Samsung; Star Fraud, SIM swapping and identity theft. The brands are marketing. Members operate interchangeably. Someone working with ShinyHunters on Monday collaborates with Scattered Spider on Thursday. Status-driven, trophy-focused, ego-motivated. Voice phishing becomes the signature tactic, calling help desks, impersonating IT staff, and they can't help but brag, posting breach announcements, threatening victims publicly, taunting law enforcement. The recklessness becomes evidence. August 8, 2025, a new Telegram channel launches, Scattered Lapsus Hunters. The name combines all three major brands. They announce a merger, coordinating attacks, sharing resources, rebranding as ransomware as a service. Telegram bans the channel within days. They recreate it, Scattered Lapsus Hunters 4.0. Banned again, recreated again. Between August and October 2025, 25 channels claiming connection to the group are created. Only 12 are genuine. The rest are impersonators. Since Telegram CEO Pavel Durov's detention in France, the platform accelerates bans of cybercriminal accounts. Channels that lasted weeks now last hours. But the network persists. New channels replace banned ones, the actors move to Signal, Session, private Discord servers. The infrastructure changes, the community remains.
May 2025, ShinyHunters evolves their technique. Think of it this way. Snowflake was a door problem. Stolen keys, credentials harvested years ago, never changed, and no multi-factor authentication. ShinyHunters simply walked through unlocked doors. Salesforce is a window problem. The doors are locked, so ShinyHunters tricks people into opening the windows for them.
The target, Salesforce, customer relationship management software used by businesses worldwide. Everything companies know about their customers stored in Salesforce instances. The attack chain is elegant, brutal, effective. Step 1. Voice phishing. An employee receives a phone call. IT support, critical security update. Your account will be locked unless you install this software immediately. The caller knows the company's systems, uses internal terminology, sounds legitimate. The employee complies. Step 2. Malicious data loader. What the employee installs is a modified version of Salesforce's legitimate data import tool. It exploits authentication protocols, obtains access tokens, logs into the victim's Salesforce instance as if it were authorized software, bypasses security controls, and begins extracting everything: customer records, contact information, sales histories, everything stored in Salesforce. Step 3. Extortion. The victim company receives an email signed by ShinyHunters. We have your Salesforce data. Pay the ransom or we publish it. 10 days. Google confirms the campaign in June 2025. Their threat intelligence team issues warnings. August 5th, Google admits its own corporate Salesforce instance was compromised. Major victims include Cisco, Qantas, 5.7 million customers, Allianz Life, 2.8 million records leaked publicly, Farmers Insurance Group, Workday, Pandora, Chanel, TransUnion, LVMH subsidiaries, Dior, Louis Vuitton, Tiffany & Co., Adidas, Google. September 12, 2025, the FBI releases a flash alert, official warning about ShinyHunters targeting Salesforce platforms. But ShinyHunters escalates further. August 31st, 2025, a Telegram channel operated by ShinyHunters posts a recruitment message. The post is direct, almost casual in its criminality. Looking for insiders with access to Okta, Microsoft SSO, Citrix VPN, GitHub, GitLab. We pay well. Target industries: finance, insurance, aviation, telecoms, automotive, retail, hospitality, energy, investment. DM for payment details. The message is clear. If you work for one of these companies, if you have access to authentication systems, if you're willing to betray your employer for cryptocurrency, ShinyHunters will pay you. The biggest threat isn't always a hacker in a basement halfway around the world. Sometimes it's the person sitting in the cubicle next to you, the employee with legitimate access, the insider who decides a few Bitcoin are worth more than their integrity. Some employees accept. The exact number remains unknown, but subsequent breaches suggest insider access was obtained. Spring 2024. Allison Nixon, Chief Research Officer at Unit 221B, receives threatening messages. Her phone number appeared in the stolen AT&T call logs. Now, hackers using the aliases Waifu and Yudish are flooding Telegram and Discord with violent threats directed at her. AI-generated images meant to intimidate. Promises of gruesome harm. The harassment escalates. Others join in, a coordinated campaign. For Nixon, this isn't new. She's spent over a decade tracking cybercriminals, infiltrating their chat rooms under aliases, gathering evidence quietly until law enforcement can act. Her work has helped identify and dismantle numerous hacking operations. She's been tracking the comm for years. The harassment is both personal and professional, but it's also a mistake. Nixon redirects her attention. If Waifu and Yudish think they can intimidate her, they're wrong. She begins building their profiles, analyzing their messages, tracking their patterns, connecting their online activity to real-world identities. Her methodology is patient, meticulous. Behavioral clues accumulate, username reuse across platforms, cryptocurrency wallet connections, Apple iCloud account linkages, Discord handle patterns. The reckless boasting provides evidence. Small details emerge. Waifu posts about topics that reveal geographic location, time zones, cultural references, language patterns, a tinge of Canadian accent noted in voice messages. Nixon collaborates with other researchers, sharing data, building timelines, mapping connections. The picture becomes clearer. She identifies Yudish as John Aaron Binns, American, living in Turkey. previously indicted for a 2021 T-Mobile breach, already on law enforcement's radar. Waifu proves more challenging, multiple aliases: Alexander Antonin Moucka, Connor Riley Moucka, born Connor but changed his name to sound more Eastern European, an infatuation with Russia, online posts about Russian culture, username variations across platforms. Nixon finds the operational security slip-up. She won't disclose the exact mistake publicly, but it's enough. The user behind the Waifu account is doxed, real identity revealed to law enforcement. Waifu attempts damage control, posts misinformation to various platforms, tries to muddy the trail. Too late, the identity is confirmed. Nixon tracks a third actor, Cyberphantom, active on breach forums. Telegram messages claiming responsibility for hacking 15 telecommunications firms, selling SIM swap services, offering stolen call logs. Cyberphantom posts selfies, photos in uniform holding military weapons, references to being stationed in South Korea, working on radio signals and network communications. Nixon recognizes the pattern: a U.S. Army soldier, active duty, conducting cybercrimes while serving. She passes the information to law enforcement, FBI Cyber Division, Canadian authorities, military criminal investigators. Then she waits. They keep going until they get arrested, Nixon has said of the comm members. It just takes years. October 30th, 2024. Kitchener, Ontario, Canada. Royal Canadian Mounted Police arrest Connor Riley Moucka, age 25. Aliases: Waifu, Judish, LLE8. November. The U.S. indictment unseals. United States versus Connor Riley Moucka and John Aaron Binns, filed in federal court in Seattle. 20 counts total: wire fraud, computer fraud, aggravated identity theft, conspiracy to commit each. The indictment alleges they hacked at least 10 victim organizations, stole sensitive information, threatened to leak the data unless victims paid ransoms, sold stolen data online. At least 3 companies paid ransoms totaling 36 Bitcoin, approximately $2.5 million at the time of payment. The description matches the Snowflake campaign, the timing aligns, the methodology matches. Security analysts issue statements. The suspect is one of the most consequential threat actors of 2024. The operation left organizations reeling from significant data loss and extortion attempts. It highlighted the alarming scale of harm a single individual can cause using off-the-shelf tools. Court documents reveal Moucka's online activity: Discord posts about mass violence, racial slurs, messages where he mused about being a good mass shooter and committing suicide by cop. March 21st, 2025. After 5 months in Canadian custody, Moucka consents to extradition. July 3rd, 2025, his initial court appearance and arraignment in Seattle. He enters a plea of not guilty to all charges, remains in custody. Trial date, October 19th, 2026. John Aaron Binns, age 24, American, residing in Turkey. Aliases: Erdev, Intel Secrets. Previously indicted for a 2021 T-Mobile breach. May 2024, Turkish authorities arrest Binns based on the U.S. indictment. While jailed, Binns is granted Turkish citizenship, a geopolitical shield. Turkey does not extradite its own citizens to the United States. He remains in Turkish custody, not extradited, but not free. As of March 2026, he is still detained in Turkey. Cameron John Wagenius, age 20, from Minnesota, a U.S. Army soldier, communications specialist, stationed at a U.S. Army base in South Korea from 2023 to 2024, later stationed at Fort Cavazos, Texas. While on active duty, Wagenius conspires with Moucka and others to hack telecommunications companies. Conversations about stolen credentials occur in Telegram group chats during his military service. Online alias: Cyberphantom. Posts on breach forums. Offers to sell FBI data, Thai telecom data, Verizon credentials. Advertises SIM swapping services targeting high-value cryptocurrency holders. October 30th, 2024. Moucka is arrested in Canada. November 7th, 2024. Cyberphantom responds. Posts on breach forums what he claims are call logs for President-elect Donald Trump and Vice President Kamala Harris. Threatens AT&T directly.
multiple #free waifu hashtags. In the event you do not reach out to us at AT&T, all presidential government call logs will be leaked. You don't think we don't have plans in the event of an arrest? Think again. Brian Krebs, the cybersecurity journalist, investigates, identifies Cyberphantom as likely U.S. Army soldier Cameron Wagenius. November 26, 2024, Krebs publishes the connection. December 20, 2024, federal authorities arrest Wagenius near Fort Cavazos, Texas. In November 2024, court documents reveal Wagenius Googled how to defect to Russia while on active duty. February 2025, Wagenius files notice of intent to plead guilty. July 2025, he pleads guilty to conspiracy to commit wire fraud, extortion in relation to computer fraud, and aggravated identity theft. No plea bargain, open court, no agreement with prosecutors. October 6, 2025, sentencing day. 20 years in federal prison. Not the maximum 27, but 2 decades nonetheless. He's remanded to the United States Disciplinary Barracks, Fort Leavenworth, Kansas, the maximum security military prison, where Cameron Wagenius will spend the next 2 decades of his life. 3 arrests, 3 hackers, the core of ShinyHunters' Snowflake campaign identified and detained. But the threat doesn't disappear.